Check out what's going on right now. City-owned grocery stores could be coming to Chicago's food deserts, especially in the South Side. What is happening right now in Chicago is a bunch of people are leaving, taking their businesses and the grocery stores with them. I mean, if you go to the South Side of Chicago, you can't even find a grocery store. All you find are Dollar Generals. You can't even find a fresh banana in some places. It's actually wild. And now Mayor Brandon Johnson is saying that, hey, we need to start opening up some city-owned grocery stores, which, by the way, is going to lose money. There hasn't been a single city-owned grocery store in America that has made money. For example, in Kansas, they tried something like this. It loses money every single month. But like I said, Chicago's super rich. Maybe they could afford something like this just for the sake of their citizens. And this article was written back in 2023. Has there been a single city-owned grocery store being opened up? No. Why is that? Because they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on the migrant crisis. So good luck, Chicago citizens. I feel kind of bad for you. But now there seems to be a Save-A-Lot ready to open. But this was written back in January of this year. It's March. Have these Save-A-Lots opened up? No, it's still delayed. We're also seeing a lot of developers right now who want to get these grants and open stores in South Side of Chicago and other food deserts in Chicago having second thoughts. Many of these developers and investors feel like, yes, they will be like the only grocery store in this massive radius. The business is going to be amazing. But what about the shoplifting and the rampant crime? Many investors refuse to open any stores in Chicago until Chicago addresses these issues. If you guys haven't noticed, some of the biggest hedge funds and companies have moved out of Chicago. Chicago basically right now is being fleeced by other better cities like Austin, Vegas, and Miami. So many of these hedge funds, big businesses and small, are leaving and going south. Can you blame these store owners? Not really. Chicago literally spending hundreds of millions of dollars on the migrant crisis. And what about the small business owners of these grocery stores? Well, too bad if you get robbed every week. It's not our problem. So because of these really, really bad and terrible business conditions, no wonder a bunch of these investors have already left. Chicago Mayor considers creating city-owned grocery stores after Walmart and Whole Foods are leaving. Guys, usually Walmarts and Whole Foods don't leave because they already invested millions of dollars and hundreds of hours of their time trying to build those stores. So even through, depressions, even through economic recessions, these stores tend to burn money to stay open, right? But they'll only close if you continue to shoplift. The shoplifting incident is so bad in these places that these stores actually have to close down. I mean, not even Trader Joe's wants to touch these locations, and I kind of see why. It's not because there's no business to be made in the South Side. In fact, there's a lot of business. The population is enormous in Chicago, especially in the suburban areas. But when you have so much rampant shoplifting, this is what happens. And look into this. Look at what residents are saying with the migrant crisis. It's making it a lot more difficult to help other residents. That's what many of them are saying. And when you really look into how much is being spent on the migrant crisis, it really makes a lot of Chicago citizens go on a boiling point. If you go on X and check out some of those videos of literally just Chicago citizens grilling the mayor, you could kind of see what the average Chicago citizen stands. They're very anti-Brandon Johnson policies. They want Chicago to revert back to the original. And can you imagine if Chicago spent like $200-300 million on the South Side of Chicago, combating crime, supporting local businesses, helping local owners get businesses back up running? It will actually be a really fantastic place to live. But instead, Chicago will rather spend, over $250 million on the migrant crisis. Mayor Brandon Johnson refuses to admit how much the city is paying for its 27 shelters. As report shows, almost $1 million a week is being spent on just 3 hotels. This is a ludicrous amount. Just 3 hotels. They're spending $1 million a week. How nice are these hotels? How much money are people making off of this? And this is why a lot of people are getting kind of angry. Chicago is struggling to care for more than 34,000 asylum seekers. And like I said, Chicago is refusing to reveal where all the funds are going. Guys, these are taxpayer dollars. And can you see why Chicago citizens are so mad? They know that the city is spending a lot of money on this. They just don't know how much. There's no transparency. Not to mention, many citizens are kind of sick and tired of the migrant crisis. They don't want to do this anymore. It sucks. So thanks for watching, guys. Comment below. What do you guys think about the Chicago situation so far? And do you guys think Chicago could get back on his feet again.